Welcome to the Education Corner, a podcast by Education Choices magazine.
Education Corner podcast would like to welcome the Deputy Head Co-Curricular and Partnerships, Miss Rosie Lockyear at City of London School for Girls. We are thrilled to welcome you to our Education Corner podcast. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at City of London School for Girls?
Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Rosie. I am the Deputy Head Co-Curricular and Partnerships. I've been at the school now for 16 years, and prior to taking on this role a couple of years ago, I was Head of Sixth Form and Head of Politics at the school. And my job encompasses all of the partnership work that we do, as well as co-curricular life of the school, clubs, societies, trips, and everything that takes place outside of the classroom.
That sounds very exciting. And as a school, you're through school, is that correct?
That's right, yeah, we're an independent day school for pupils aged 11 to 18, situated in the heart of the Barbican in London. We opened in 1894, and the school provides an outstanding education for able students from all backgrounds, cultures and faiths.
Fantastic. And could you outline for us the partnership programme at City of London School for Girls, giving a few examples of partnerships and how much of the student body is involved?
So as a school, we're really committed to fostering a concern for and engagement with the wider world, both through our charity work and through our partnership programme. We feel it's so important that our students develop a strong sense of social responsibility, a social conscience. We want them to be outward looking and aware of the wider world when they leave the school. So in terms of the work that we do, perhaps our closest partnerships are through our relationship with the City of London family of schools. This consists of 1 primary schools, 10 academies, both primary and secondary, and 4 independent schools. We've worked closely with them over a number of years, but in recent years, some examples would include an online reading mentors scheme that we hold with our year 9, 10 and 11 pupils, with some primary school pupils, EAL support for Afghan refugees, oracy and maths professional development workshops. We've last year hosted our first inaugural primary summer school, and we also offer a wide range of support around university admissions and interview support and developing leadership skills.
And do the children at the school also participate in this work?
Yeah, absolutely. So they participate as volunteers in some cases, so supporting primary schools through after school clubs, through reading schemes. They also take part through the charity work that we do and the fundraising. And they also take part with a collection of students from the other schools with some of the work we do with industry. So, for example, this year we've co-hosted an event with Schroders, who are very close to our school geographically, and we have organised a programme around how to build a sustainable business. That's for year 9 pupils, and they work together in mixed school groups with those other children in year 9 from the other family of schools.
Why do you think partnership work is so important for the school, and how is this reflected in City of London School for Girls ethos?
Our partnership philosophy is one based on building relationships, based on dialogue and reciprocity, a strongly held belief that collaboration and building sustained, impactful, meaningful and mutually beneficial partnerships is central to what it means to us in the school and to be in and of the city. So our vision of seeking to inspire pupils to find their space to pioneer is integral to our partnership programme. Our students find this renewed sense of purpose and inspiration when engaging in partnership work. Our students are seeking to make a difference, to find their own way in the world, and this programme helps them to do that. So through partnership work, we have a mechanism through which we can truly find our student space to pioneer.
Can you give us examples of how student leadership and partnership are linked at the school, and any particularly student-led initiatives?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of our students who run clubs within the school have recently started to build links with other schools and to share ideas and good practice so that they're collaborating in a sort of very natural way around their own interests and shaping what they want to cover in their societies. And we also have a number of students who have set up volunteer programmes, who act as reading mentors. And in our first primary summer school that we hosted last summer, we had a number of student volunteers who helped to lead sessions across those 3 days.
And which partnership do you feel has been most impactful?
This is a bit of a sneaky answer. I'm going to talk about the fact that over the last 3 years, we've developed a partnership forum, and this has been led and constructed by our superb Director of Partnerships, who works jointly with us and our brother school, City of London School. And we've created a termly partnership forum for key staff from across our network to come together to share best practice and make connections with other schools. So it's now become a very naturally evolving process. And as a group, we've grown to better understand the needs of each other's schools and how the power of coming together can be mutually beneficial. And out of that has come the primary summer school, our reading mentors scheme, and a whole host of other workshops around sustainability, EDI, that have grown out of that partnership forum, which is now really well attended. We get requests through that forum, which hopefully is a signal that people really respect and value the partnership work that takes place through the school.
And how do you measure the impact of the partnership work that's taking place?
It's quite varied. I mean, the main thing is through constant conversation with the people who take part in it, whether that be staff, students, parents, their impression of the work that we do, and of course our connections and our relationships with the other schools. We're always evaluating. We do use a more official platform called Impact Ed that traces and particularly looks at how the experience of the partnership work that's taken place has shaped and informed differences in attitudes and behaviours, whether that be around oracy or skills building or change in attitudes. The partnership forum that I mentioned before is also a key way in which we impact measure the work that takes place, because we come together, we talk about the work that's taken place, we reflect on how we can do it better, and we just constantly keep that dialogue going, whether it be through surveys, questionnaires, and just a really open and honest culture around reflecting on what's taken place.
What do you think are the key aspects of a meaningful partnership?
It's got to be useful. It's got to be useful for everybody taking part in it. It's got to be a really committed collaboration. And therefore, with that sort of outlook, we can learn from each other, we can make changes and we can make them meaningful.
How do you see the partnership programme developing further at City of London School for Girls now that life's returning to normal, we're coming out of lockdown, and obviously it means that we can have a lot more interaction with the different schools?
Yeah, it's been an absolute joy to be able to meet face to face in person, to have groups of students working together on a project and a joint cause in the same room. We've decided to keep some of our offer as a remote offer because it works better in terms of widening our geographical reach. But one thing we're really looking forward to redeveloping this year is an event that we run on a much smaller scale previously. It's a leadership day for year 12 pupils, whereby they come together and work with some external coaches to develop their leadership skills. It's a really challenging day where they're taken out of their comfort zones and they work together with people they've never met before across the family of schools. They take part in a treasure hunt at the end of the day, and we're really, really looking forward to that event. We also have plans in place to develop a robotics club with one of our teachers from CLSG leading that robotics club with 2 of our partner primary schools. The hope there is that, again, they will build a robot, they will enter competitions and hopefully win some of them as well. We're also hoping to partner with Royal Springboard and to continue with our work that we do with industry partners. So I've already mentioned Schroders. We've worked over a number of years with Linklaters, the law firm, around developing communication skills in our pupils and also enabling them to understand better how to access careers in the city and particularly in the leadership and legal profession.
Fantastic. We also interviewed Victoria Ayudebi, who came through Royal Springboard and the Sutton Trust, and she was able to do amazing things and end up at Cambridge. What tips would you give to other schools that are just beginning to build their partnership programme?
I think the key thing is to not be afraid to reach out to other schools or to industry. I think you'd be surprised at how many people out there are keen to partner. It has to be, as I've mentioned, mutually beneficial and impactful. And I think it's just not being sort of afraid of making mistakes as well, being prepared to learn from the events that you've organised, to see how they work, to reflect on what works best. But really the key thing is building relationships and having an open and honest dialogue around what is most impactful for the students that we are here to support.
And it's obviously having a very positive effect on life at City of London School for Girls. Have you had feedback from the girls on what they've learned from the partnership work that they're taking place from, or kind of how they feel it's impacting perhaps their education as a whole?
Yeah, I really think it is. I think they're much more aware for a start that we have this network, which I don't think they necessarily were a few years ago, the family of schools and the partner schools that we have. Quite a lot of the students who I support with running clubs and societies are knocking on my door saying, can we invite students from this other school? They are responding in their droves to the volunteering opportunities that I send their way. And it's something that the parents have fed back to us in terms of, that it's really valuable to them to know that their daughters are going to be leaving school, being aware of that wider world around them.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And it's been a pleasure to have you on our Education Corner podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.